That's the forthcoming single from Nick Cave from his album Nocturama. That's called Bring It On.
That's great. I must admit, I was a latecomer to Nick Cave.
He's extraordinary, yeah.
I mean, years into his solo stuff before, you know, I decided that he was brilliant.
Yeah,
he's fantastic.
He's fantastic. I had some exciting news this week, Carl. You'll be pleased to find out. I'm worried that you might get a little bit jealous, because it's obviously going to impact on your world quite strongly, because I know you think you like things to be quite, you know, samey. You like the status quo to be maintained. You like the fact that in the past, you know, we've had some crosswords, you know, because I remember, what did you think of me when I first walked in? When I first came in on the first day of XFM?
I don't know why you're making a big deal out of it, because I'm just being honest, though. I'm just being honest about a lot of people who see you for the first time sort of go, well, he's a bit weird.
I know that, Steve, that you brought it up, and then you're again.
But I'm sure that wasn't what he said before.
No,
did he say before?
Yeah, well,
he's a bit weird.
Yeah, well, he looked at you, and I knew, I could see by the look on his face. You know when you know your kid, and your kid's sort of scared of something, and they go, "Why's your kid?" He goes, "Oh, he doesn't like pigeons or spiders."
Right.
It was like that when I saw Carl, and I brought you in, and I went, "What do you think of that, Carl?" I could see the look on his face that he was disturbed.
Sure.
And then, as he said, you get used to it, don't you?
Yeah, you get used to it. And you have changed a little bit. Your hair's a bit smarter now, and you've got some nicer glasses and that, I think. Or I might have just got used to it.
Whoa! Don't bring it up, Steve. Don't look at me like that.
So you say that you think some other people in the office thought the same? Do you know that for sure?
Carl.
Did you discuss it?
Carl.
Yeah, I think they do, yeah.
Okay, leave it there then.
But not just in the office, as you walk through the building.
It's worse than you ever thought!
Well, no, it's not worse than I ever thought, because as you well know, Ricky Gervais, what did I do on, Thursday morning?
Oh, is this the thing,
For those, that perhaps are not of the female persuasion listening, there's a magazine, apparently it sells quite well, it's one of the sort of female, you know, kind of, issues magazines. I think it's called Company Magazine. You know, it's like your sort of, I guess it's a bit like your Moore or your Vanity Fair or whatever. Anyway, they run every year the 50 most eligible bachelors in Great Britain section. Ding dong, hello. Who's in there this year? In the 50? In the top 50 of the entire country.
and then they vote, and they put them in order and see who's the most eligible bachelor.
But that's 50 people, right? I mean, it always annoys me slightly because bachelor, it kind of seems like a more sophisticated word for loser.
Yeah,
doesn't it?
no.
Which always sort of unnerves me
And also
slightly.
they try and do a different 50 every year, so they're getting pretty desperate to get different ones.
No,
because also a lot of people who are sort of like successful, are married, so there's very little to...
No, there's a huge, I don't know if this is international, it could even be international, I'm not sure actually, so I could be up there with the likes of Justin Timberlake, etc. So, Fred Durst.
Yeah.
That sort of person, you know. So anyway, this is what's exciting, right? Although I'm slightly frustrated because they were telling me that last year, alright, because what happens is the readers of the magazine, they vote for who they think is number one most eligible bachelor, right? Last year, the prize was a 2-week trip in the Bahamas, okay? This year, I'm rather annoyed, because all I'm gonna win is a moped. That's the prize this year, that's the prize this year, a moped.
Whoa, backtrack.
What?
Sorry? Last year was a 2-week trip to Bahamas, and this year
Just a moped, all I'm gonna get is a moped.
All you're gonna win is a moped.
Yeah,
you got no chance.
You've
got no chance. Who else is in it? Who else is in it?
Well, I mean, I don't know, lots of people you've never heard of. I know Duncan from Blue is in this.
So you're second to him at least already. I imagine you're gonna come behind the other 49.
Because there'll be people voting for me. They get to vote for me.
Yeah, Steve.
They'll see my photo, and then they can vote for me.
Yeah, according to Heat, I was 22nd most sexy man in the world.
I better take that helmet back.
I would. AC/DC. Brilliant. You shook me all night long on XFM 104.9. Well, this show is a rockin'.
It is.
Ricky Gervais, Steve Merchant, Karl Pilkington. I came up with a new, strand for Karl as well. He's always got, we've done, I don't think there's a week gone where we haven't mentioned an hairy kid.
A hairy child, you're right.
Yeah. And some related to a monkey and that, and I thought you could do a regular thing where he's got to come up with a story about an ape or a monkey, and it's called Chimpanzee That.
Of course.
I have got one, but I can't remember it at the moment, so I'll just
It'll come to you whenever you join the show. Well, listen, while you're thinking about that, while you're stewing on that, here's a problem that someone's emailed in. We're taking emails today. If you've got a problem, a concern, or, just a general query that you think Karl could answer for you, it could be about anything. It could be about some of the big kind of philosophical questions.
Yeah.
It could be something to do with war or famine, anything like that. Or it could just be a personal dilemma, something that's happening locally. Anyway, this seems one that I think you probably have you and your father have probably come across this sort of dilemma in the past, and I'd be interested to know what your take is on it. Let me see, this is from Lee Matthews by the look of it. He says, he lives in a suburban area where the local teenagers also live on the same road, and they're running riot. They're smashing wing mirrors off the cars, they're crashing into parked cars on their skateboards, they're just generally making mayhem, you know, night and day. What can you do to stop this going on? The parents of the kids don't seem to give a damn. Anyone who complains to them, they just say, oh, piss off. You know, the police are useless because they never catch them in the actual act of violence, which is what they got to do to, apparently convict them. So they don't know who to turn to, really. It's rather like when a little old lady went and got the A-team, you know.
It's a great note, and he was dressed as an elderly Chinaman.
Exactly.
She knew who he was. Colonel Decker didn't have a clue.
Yeah.
You see, it's weird, because now it has got out of hand.
Sure.
Do you know what I mean? Like, years ago when I was growing up on the estate, yeah, you had problems, but not like you have now. Do you know what I mean? You know,
Summers were nice as well, weren't they?
Well, it did seem that way, didn't it?
Yeah.
Right, and
Police are getting shorter and
But
younger.
you yourself kind of admitted in the past that you were something of a tearaway. You didn't do anything like these kids here.
The thing is, I was scared that if I got caught doing it, my dad would go mad.
Yes.
And I remember smashing a car window by accident and legging it in the lounge and sort of pretending to go asleep on the settee. Right?
Genius.
And I heard a knock at the door.
He chloroformed himself just to be unconscious when his dad came home.
And there was a knock on the door, and I thought, oh god, this is the fella who saw me. I was chucking a stone in the air, seeing how high I could throw it.
Of course you were. Did it keep landing on your head? That would explain a lot.
And it came down.
Chucking a stone in the air, love it!
See how far I could throw it.
Brilliant.
So, you know, I wasn't bothering anyone.
Did you
by
invent that game?
Right,
Did you get the stone for your birthday? Go and play with your stone.
He gave one to Suzanne.
Carl, go and play with your stone.
The thing is, right, and it came down at a funny angle, and it
Of course it did.
It ate the back of this car, and the back window is the most expensive because it has that heating thing in it.
Yeah.
In case you got a frosty window.
Yeah.
So I thought, oh god. So I legged it in, got on the settee, went to sleep, knocked at the door.
Genius. It's a brilliant plan. It's a brilliant plan. I couldn't be guilty. I'm asleep.
So
I love the idea.
So the thing is, our lounge used to sort of, you could see in from the door, right? So this family, who saw me do it, saw me asleep on the settee, and my mum said, go and get the door, and I sort of went, what? As if I'd been asleep.
Yeah.
I went to the door, like, rubbing my eyes, and the fella said, what did you run off for? I saw you. I was like, oh no. And I didn't see my dad, I went out, it was when he was working sort of evenings, so I went out so I didn't have to see my dad. And then the next day I came home from school, and my dad said, 45 quid.
Ooh.
That's all he said.
That's all
He
he said.
looked at me.
And then you fell asleep, and he went, wake up. You know what I said? No, 45 quid.
No, the thing
Carl.
he didn't have to do
£45,
anything.
Carl. Now, I know you were saving up for a brick, but you can't have it.
Yeah.
But do you know what I mean? It's like, I knew I did wrong, and I was scared that my dad was going to belt me.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, you know, I'll be more careful next time.
But that was clearly good parenting on the part of your father, because these young tykes, clearly they don't have the,
what do you do?
the father
I
support.
don't even, I don't know if
If you were living in that street, very quickly, what would you do? What would your approach be? If you were living in his street?
What if they'd come home, right, and they just vandalised all your pebbles, right, that you've been saving over the years, and just threw your gravel away? What would you do if they just...
I'd probably clout one of them.
So you'd use violence?
I think it's the only way sometimes.
Sometimes the only way.
And I don't mean, you know, really bad, but I'd show them that I'm not putting up with this.
Right.
And then the problem is you've got their family coming round, and they're probably quite...
Go to sleep. If you hit a kid and the dad comes down, just go to sleep.
Yeah.
Just
equally, if you're doing a bigger crime, you know, a bank job or a murder.
Remember to take the stocking off your head, because they wake you up and go, why have you got a stocking on your head? Just go, oh, I had a weird dream. It won't work.
It's like with our kid, right? He was, I told Ricky about this the other day in the pub, but is
this your brother?
He never, yeah.
Because he was a terror, wasn't he?
Well, yeah, a little bit, but it
He
was
did
more...
drive a tank down the high street once, didn't he?
Yeah, that's when he was in the army.
Yeah.
But
Another story.
But this time, I remember, my mum and dad were going out, right, for the evening. And, I must have been about, I don't know, 5, so our Mark was like, I don't know, probably 18, something like that, 16, 17, 18. So my mum and dad go out, and our Mark says to me, right, here's a deal, do your little deal. I'm gonna have a load of, women round. Right, deal is, I'll let you have your tractor in the house.
Wow, he had a tank, you had a tractor.
Yeah, But but his brother didn't have the rocks that Carl had.
No,
So he needed the tractor to put his toys
what kind of a
along.
man was he? He brought a bunch of women round.
So yeah, there's loads of. But do you know when you're a kid, you don't think, oh, I know what they're up to. You're not bothered, are you? Do you know what I mean? As long as I've got my tractor, I'm happy.
Yeah.
So I was.
It actually hasn't changed a bit.
But how many women did he have around? Was it just him and like a bunch of women?
Yeah.
Was it like, what's his name? What's his name? Look like Nedwell from Confessions. Confessions of an older
What, they all
brother.
just came round and
He liked his women. Seriously, right? My mum and dad had to move because they got sick of women coming round saying, "I've got a kid and it's your marks." They had to move because it got that in Bath.
Did you hear, when you were playing on your tractor, and there was women running back and forth in underwear, did you ever hear this noise? Did you ever hear that?
Or kind of wow 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 wow
Wow, 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 wow. And just see your brother's arse disappearing down the thing
exactly.
being chased by a butcher. Did you ever
It's not important.
Is that what it's going to be like, do you think, when I'm voted #1 most eligible bachelor in Great Britain?
Yeah, and you're coming on your moped.
I mean, no, am I going to get a tractor?
Testing. This is a special transmission. A special one-off show. With me, Ricky Gervais, Stephen Merchant.
Hello there.
And the little bald mank twat that is the shaven monkey known as Karl Pilkington.
Right.
Now, Rick, just a quick question, because if people have just stumbled across this, perhaps on the internet or on their TV channel, they're probably going to be a little bit alarmed by what you've said there. You've come straight in with little bald mank twat, and a lot of people don't know who that little bald mank twat is, so maybe you should clarify. Well,
I'm Ricky Gervais. You probably know me from such shows as The Office and Extras, cameos in the odd film. My long-term partner, not in that way, Stephen Merchant.
Not in that way. Stephen Merchant, yes, I was involved with some of those projects, but I've not been in a film.
And, we met Carl when we went back to XFM as Conquering Heroes. We were let go when XFM changed hands, and then we did The Office, and then we came back, and we were big shots. No longer did we need to run the desk or press any buttons. So we were assigned, how can I put this, like a stupid lackey.
Yes, yes, proper, I mean, probably the person who was lowest on the rung.
I'd have thought so.
Station.
They said, oh, give it to me, no one wants to work Saturdays.
The caretaker didn't work Saturdays, so they gave us Carl.
And we met Carl, and I was first struck by the roundness of his head, I'll be honest. I thought, this is a bald man, a little round-headed, bald freak of a man. He opened his mouth, he spoke funny. Well, actually, he spoke without opening his mouth. That was the second thing that struck me. He just had this slack-jawed gimpness about him. Words came out.
I think they get the idea now, anyway.
Was what?
Do you feel that that was a balanced explanation of your meeting with us, or would you like to offer any extra detail there, Carl?
Well, with every meeting, there's a different story, isn't there? The way you sort of looked at me and thought, he's weird. I saw Steve, it was like a triangle. Ricky was looking at me, I was looking at you, thinking that's weird.
It seems a little unjust that I'm the, you know, why don't you have any go at Ricky for being fat and
just because, no, I'm just saying on the first meeting,
right.
It's like a museum, isn't it? Everybody rushes to the weird stuff first.
I love the fact that you're putting yourself firmly in that category as well, though. Oh, I love that. That's great, like someone from Reservoir Dogs. Everyone looking at someone else.
But you don't feel that way about me anymore.
No, I've got used to it now. That's what
no,
I'm saying.
I'm saying that whatever your accusations of weirdness were, they all were unfounded.
It moves on, doesn't it? It's like anything, you get used to a look, don't you? I watch a lot of programmes on stuff that people have up with them, and
you only watch programmes about people that got something wrong with them. That is what you do. If ever you say, did you see that thing last night? It's going to be something like the kid who was born with too many legs, or the baby with an arse for a head. It's always going to be stuff like that.
It's like there was a programme on a bit back about a fella who had a funny head and what have you, and he lived in a small village, and nobody double-taked anymore because you get used to it, don't you?
What was up with his head?
Just had like it was sort of like the new Elephant Man. He'd sort of gone for that look.
He's gone for that look. And what does he do in the morning? Just eat a bun, sort of shave?
It's just that's all I'm saying is people in his village. You want a big village. People were used to it, and they no longer stared. And that's what I'm saying with you.
But it's interesting that because you say you've acclimatised to my so-called weirdness. I don't know what weirdness that is. I've still not grasped that. But Ricky continues to... What?
It's just the eyes.
He's listening.
Why are you listening? So I've not had a go at you and you stupid round head like a orange. Which is the thing which perpetually entertains Ricky. Ricky is never acclimatised to you. Is that fair, Rick?
Yeah, I love it. I can't get enough of him. Because I see different things. Every time I look at Carl, sometimes I see like a completely sort of like spherical object. Right, like honestly, like some sort of pumpkin on you know, Halloween. And then I see him, flat, straight
with
on.
a pumpkin, Rick, with a jack-o'-lantern outside someone's house, right? There is a certain light behind the eyes. Not with Carl.
And then sometimes he looks like a plate. Do you know what I mean? Like, you know, like a clay plate that a child has made.
When they've made a face on the plate using their food.
Or a biscuit. Like one of those biscuits, novelty biscuits you can buy
Sure,
at your
you
birthday.
can ice with a little smile and some ice.
Yeah. But that's not the, I think that's not the biggest thing. Carl, it isn't his, physicality, isn't it the roundness of his head, it isn't the gimpness of his slack-jawed, face. It's not even his hairy body and sort of like chimp-like gait. It is.
Although those are all key features.
These are all key features, but it's his incredible mind. And I think maybe over the next 2 hours or so, if you haven't heard of Carl, then I think you're in retreat. If you have heard of Carl, then you're already being treated, I think, by the fact that he is present on this special broadcast.
Rick, can I suggest that we take a pause there, play some music, come back and we'll talk some more?
Oh, this isn't just about Carl. We're playing some great tunes. Arctic Monkeys, Fluorescent Adolescent. Talking of monkeys, we're here with Karl Pilkington. I say we. I'm Ricky Gervais. With me, Stephen Merchant.
Hello.
Doing a special one-off broadcast. Now, it's special in the sense that I don't know why it's special. I started that sentence. I had no. I had no backup. It's not particularly special. We've done this thousands of times. Well, it's special in the sense.
You got the old team back together.
Exactly. It's special in the sense that it is a one-off.
Yeah.
That's why it's a special one-off. It's special in the sense that it is a one-off.
I know it's special for me because I'm giving up a time, about 3 or 4 hours of my time for no money and no personal gain. So
well,
it's a special treat
you
for me
say
in
that.
respect.
Now, Sammy Jacob, right, is the guy that founded XFM and gave me and Steve our break in entertainment or whatever, comedy. I remember also on the second day, he said, when are you two going to do some work before I fire?
Yes.
Which was,
and I vowed that no one would ever say that again.
Yeah.
And,
so he called me out of the blue and said, you know, we're launching Enemy Radio. Oh, that's a good project, you know. I'm a fan of the genre. Right, will you do a special show? Right, I called Steve. Steve went, I called Carl and he went, definitely not. And so I had to persuade these two miserable bastards to do this show. Carl, why didn't you want to do this? As a favour, I said to Carl, let's do it, let's do one. There's 2 reasons I want to do this. One, we'd stop the podcast. Yeah. Carl, we charged for the podcast because you'd left work, and, you know, we did very, very well with that, and I thought I want to give something back to the fans, okay? That's one thing, okay? Right? 2, I want to do Sammy a favour. Why not? Okay?
Well, that's fair. That's your opinion.
Yeah, but you, yes.
But what you can't do, when you're doing someone a favour, you can't go, yeah, Steve and Carl will feel the same about it. Yeah, of course I'll do it, Sammy. Well, Carl will do you a favour, the man you've never met and you've never done a favour for yourself. Well, of course he'll do it.
Well, hold on. Steve didn't want to do it either. He was busy. He works on 6 Music, so he was worried about that. He shouldn't really be doing it.
I shouldn't really be doing this, and I'll tell you this, if you do love great new music and lively chat, then 6 Music Sunday afternoons is a great place to be with the Steve Merchant Show.
I agree. There's enough for everyone to go round. Yeah. Enjoy that, enjoy this. Yeah. But Steve does it a favour to me. I said, Steve, I'll do it. Alright, mate. You've done me enough favours. Yeah. Yes, I will. Okay? You didn't fall for that. I said, as a favour to me. No, he didn't. I even started an internet campaign to put in the poster up saying, Carl, do some work, you little lazy bastard. After a month, he was begging me to stop it.
I wasn't begging you, it was just a bit stupid.
You were really annoyed.
Yeah,
what I like, though, it's interesting, because you're a busy man, Rick, and I know you've been heavily involved with lots of projects. How you found time, because you don't like writing and doing any form of administration at any time. How you found time to write a daily blog is quite remarkable.
Well, I knew it was irritating.
Right.
It was, it captured the imagination of, you know, people all over the world. I wanted him to do this podcast, and here we are. What changed your mind, Carl?
Well, you kept going on about it,
Yeah.
and then I thought,
You saw friendship was an important thing.
yeah, a little bit of that.
Now I've got to tell Steve something on air that Steve doesn't know about. Me and Steve are doing this for free, as a favour. I'm doing it as a favour to Sammy. Steve's doing it as a favour for me, that's what friends are for. Carl was negotiating himself some money.
Yeah, well, this
Who the hell have you negotiated money from?
with Sammy, I didn't know him. I owe this man nothing. I'm not doing anything for free. I've got bills to pay. We've all got bills to pay, right?
Oh.
You've got other work that brings you money in.
Let me just stop because...
Sick of it.
Wait, though, because this is interesting, because as you say, Rick, you're doing this as a favour to Sammy, he gave you your big break. Now, Rick, you gave me my big break, right? I didn't know Sammy, Ricky gave me a break, I'm doing this as a favour to Ricky.
Oh, hold on.
Who the hell gave Karl Pilkington a big break? There's one man in this room who wouldn't even have an agent, wouldn't even have a need for an agent if it weren't for Mr. Ricky Gervais. But hang on a minute, it's not me.
Nice one, Steve.
I'm already thanking you, Rick. by
Nice
doing
one, Steve.
This free show, so hang on a
You
minute.
miserable, ungrateful, little mank twat. Yeah, I hope you feel really bad.
I don't feel bad.
Me and Steve are doing it out of the kindness of our heart.
Yeah, free.
You're money grabbing again. That also on the internet, how mean he is.
I'm not mean.
You are mean, Carl, because, you know, we did those paid podcasts, and all I wanted to do was some free ones. You wouldn't do it.
Because we've done it now. I'm just saying you've got to get to a point when you go, I enjoyed that. Yeah, the podcasts were alright. Cut them off. You don't keep the story going. With the Bible, they didn't go, let's do another volume. People seem to like this story.
Yes, they did.
What?
The New Testament. The Old Testament was a
Yeah,
massive
alright, they did it
success.
once then. They did like a special for the fans. But all I'm saying
Sequel,
is...
there's one sequel.
But they didn't keep going on. And we did 3 lots of the podcast.
Yeah.
That's more than enough for anyone.
But I just wanted to give, you know, the people on the internet something back.
Yeah, well, we've given them enough. Sick of
do-
the people on the internet always moaning.
What? Who am I?
Just moan.
Who do?
People do. Sick of it.
We
Calling me
should-
Graham. They said I'm not even real. They said he's an actor. He's called Graham. That annoyed me. That's the thing that annoyed me the most. Graham. Of all the names. It's just that if I'm not me, what am I? That's the thing that annoyed me most. If I am-
Not me, what am I?
Well, it would annoy me if someone was accusing me of something, because, I mean, that's the thing. No, it annoyed you because they were stating a falsehood.
Yeah, that's what annoys me. That's what did me head in.
Let's play a record and be back with Carl after this.
Listening in this
You
book.
okay?
Listen, right? In this book, little tips and stuff. So one here about if your dog keeps nicking a remote control.
Sure.
The way to get it off it: ring the doorbell. Right. So you got to get off your chair, go and ring the doorbell. So the dog goes, "What's that?" And it drops the remote control, goes running to the door.
Yeah.
You run back and pick it up.
I love the idea of Carl doing that, and then the doorbell goes, and Carl drops it and goes, and it's the dog pressing the doorbell and sits back down, and Carl going, "Oh no, not again."
I mean, I really do want. Can't I just have this?
You excited by that, are you?
It's brilliant.
What about this one, though, that you mentioned? This is, a book which has got all those, urban legends and stories that you've read on the internet, and it tells you whether they're real or not. This has got the one in there, I know you're very excited about the one with the woman who stuck her head in the microwave.
Yeah.
Eh?
Right.
It's not.
Alright, so basically that she's saying here that whenever Ricky says, oh, it's not true, you can dispute that with your book.
Yeah. What do you think then, Carl? Do you ever think about all these gifts? And
There's
then
so much
come back?
stuff, isn't there?
Should we play a record and then come back?
Can't.
Have you found something you like in there?
You're so undecided, Carl.
I really like this book.
Go on, what is it? What else you found? What tip?
God, there's loads of stuff in here.
Yeah.
Let's just pick one at random. Don't be too tidy. Leave some areas for helpful garden animals to hide in. So when you're cleaning your garden and that, you know, it might look a bit of a mess, but think about the animals that are walking about at night in the dark and stuff.
Yeah.
Just little things you don't think about.
Yeah, because they're pointless.
Little. Yeah.
Okay, then we'll just play a record.
Oh, there's so many to decide on.
Alright, what are we playing, Steve?
This is something from a little compilation that came free with a magazine called Comes With a Smile. It's a good little magazine. And this is by Matt Pond, PA. It's called Night's End, isn't it? I suppose there's a little bit of New Country, which we don't play often, but there's some nice tracks
No, it's
floating
very
about,
nice.
and that's
Very
Matt
nice.
Pond, PA, Night's
Well,
End.
I'm getting very sad now. 10 minutes to go, and so much to cram in. Now, thing is, Carl's fallen in love with that book, but I feel a bit bad letting a friend sort of win when all these lovely people, these regular listeners, so I don't think you can have that. But I'll tell you what, I'll borrow that, or I'll buy it for you. So you can have that anyway. What have
That's
you found
safe,
in there?
you're going home with that.
What have you-
Avoid washing up by boiling a bag food.
See, I can see why you'd love that.
Exactly.
Is there anything else? What other things have you caught your eye though? Put that book down. Yeah, go on.
Well,
One of our regular listeners who actually wants the bag and wants to be part of your life. Come on.
Well, Richard emailed in, right? And he's got a book, which is similar to the one I like there.
Yeah.
Which has got like 180 stories in it. I mean, most of them are like true, I think. Do you know I was telling you that story about the woman who put her head in the oven to dry her hair?
Yeah.
Because she liked the way...
She boiled her brain.
Yeah, she stuck it in the microwave.
Avoid washing your hair by boiling the brain bags.
So she put her head in the microwave
Yeah.
and boiled her brains.
Yeah.
Boiled the brains.
Sure.
She thought she'd get the same result as she did from the oven, but it all went wrong and that. And
What do you mean? She used to dry hair in the oven? And she just, like, went modern?
Apparently, it's like what punks used to do. You get a different sort of heat off an oven than you do off a hairdryer, right?
Sure.
So, she thought, well, I'll do it in half the time, use a microwave.
Sure.
She
was busy, she
I
was
don't
late.
understand how you can get your head in a microwave. It only works when the door closes.
Yeah, but you jam the little thing, don't you?
Well, don't say that. Don't say that. Don't tell. I don't think it's possible, but don't.
Of course it is.
Yeah, well,
anyway,
don't
but
do that.
he remembers that story and said, I've got a book full of stuff like that. And, he sort of sums up a little story that's in the book about this girl who, she had long hair, right? And, she used to always mess around with it. And, she's sucking on it. Do you know, like how girls do with the long hair? They sort of mess around with it and stuff.
Yeah.
And she's sucking on it all the time. And she was doing this from the age of, like, 10. And then, I don't know, she's probably about 30 odd. And, she's doing this all the time.
Guessing.
And, she goes, oh, God, my belly's hurting today, mum. And she goes, oh, what's wrong with you? I said, I don't know.
You're 30.
Yeah. So she goes to the doctors, and the doctors do an x-ray, and nothing's coming up, and it's like, I don't know what's wrong with you, you know, you're just being a bit moany about nothing. She's like, no, honestly.
He's a very intolerant doctor.
Yeah.
She said, this is...
Piss off.
This is really hurting, I don't know what's up with it. So anyway, they found out some sort of system of, looking at what was going on.
Yeah.
And apparently...
X-rays?
No, it wasn't X-ray, because X-ray didn't show it up.
Okay.
It was something else. So, anyway, it's only gone and turned into, like, she's been sucking her hair for so many years
Sure.
that little bits had come off.
Sure.
She's got a giant air ball in her belly.
Wow.
Right?
Yeah.
Which was, like, huge, the size of a rat or something like that, right? The size of a...
It's so interesting what he chose. The size of a rat.
No. Well, the funny thing is, when they eventually got it out,
Yeah.
the mum was like, you know, oh God, it was terrible, and that's what she actually said. It looked like a dead rat.
Oh. Right.
And it was in her belly, and that's like what was causing all the pain.
Sure.
And apparently, your belly acids don't kill hairs because it's so fine it can't handle it. Yes.
Right. So you're going for that book, are you?
That's the one I want.
Who's the
yeah.
winner then? Who's the winner of the lovely BAFTA
What's his
bag?
name there? Richard Scholar, is it or something?
Yeah, Richard, Scular or Scowler
Yeah.
or something else. So he's the winner. So check it out. You're going to get that book coming to you. I'll borrow this book for you.
I need an email within like 5 working days to sort of.
So what's your email?
It's carl.pilkington@xfm.co.uk.
Okay, lovely.
I want an email from this guy, and I won't be sending the bag out until I receive the goods.
Okay, right, good.
enough.
Well, we've only got a few minutes. I want to play Suede and I want to end with the Smiths track. So let's play this.
What is it?
Suede, Stay Together. Lovely track. My favourite Suede track of all time there. Well, we're oh, that's nearly it, Carl. Right, what's your last room 101?
Oh God, it was holidays.
Holidays.
You want to put holidays in room 101?
People who are sort of annoying on holiday.
Oh yeah.
Do you know when you go away?
Oh yeah.
It's sort of touched on this before.
Is this going to be the Scouse guy?
Yeah.
Go on.
Oh, it's so long though. I mean, it was a holiday when we went to Tunisia.
And the Scouser pissed you off, surprise, surprise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the annoying thing was, you know, when you go on it was a cheap holiday, and like the lesson here is, you know, if you want a good holiday, you gotta like spend some money.
Yeah.
And we didn't on this one. We spent about, I don't know, 400 quid for 2 of us for like a month or something ridiculous. And we got there, and you know, you get to the hotel and you go, we have made a mistake. You know, it's a ropey hotel. You know, you can tell like the blinds and stuff as you walk in, they're all dirty and stuff. And you think, well, let's make the most of it. You know, let's not get down about it. It's a holiday. It's for a rest. And you try and make the most of it. And we had to meet. Do you know, like you have one of those things where you get to your destination and the rep says, right, you know, go and unpack your bags and that. Go and sort yourself out in the room. And tomorrow morning we'll meet up at 10 o'clock, and I'll go through, you know, the best sort of place to go for camel rides, and you know, the best deals I can get you. That sort of thing.
Can anyone here walk like an Egyptian?
So she says, right, tomorrow morning meet 10 o'clock in the discotheque. So we get up and we have breakfast, and it wasn't a good breakfast. The kitchen was like bit horrible. The food wasn't good, and it was run by sort of midgets.
What do you mean it was run? Not there's anything wrong with that.
There was little fellas running around, and the annoying thing was one of them sort of started to fancy my girlfriend.
How did he manifest his affection?
No, you're not saying there's anything wrong with midgets, though, are you? Just saying it was
not
strange
at
that there was.
Yeah, but even midgets shouldn't be cutting in on Karl Pilkington's
No, I know, no.
But it's also that thing of, you know, they've got little fingers, and and it's sort of
God, I'm
ruined-
so sorry.
No, I'm not. It is a bit of a phobia of mine.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean? They are nice people and that.
Sure. Oh, God.
But the annoying thing is,
So what was he doing then? How did he? I don't understand how he was chatting up your girlfriend. Was he crawling under the table so you couldn't see?
just kept
Whispering to her from underneath there.
Stop it.
Just, you know.
Wait, I don't want to get a complaint on our last show.
There's
not many midgets
What's going to happen? Can we just finish this and start up again in a couple of months?
Oh, yeah. So if you want to know more about the midget theme restaurants, then we'll talk you in 3 months.
Yeah.
It's just. It's just.
No, that's fair enough. Actually.
Oh
You're
yeah,
absolutely
no,
right,
sorry
Karl.
about
That's your
this.
producer's head
Listen,
on.
we'll see you in about a really. It's been a pleasure, truly, and thank you for everyone that wrote
I've got you a couple
letters.
presents.
Have you really?
Yeah,
I've got you both a present. Right?
Oh,
I got Ricky. Do you know, like we've done fables and
Yeah,
stuff. Right?
yeah.
This is like Mr. Ben.
oh,
Brilliant.
yeah.
Right, and it's like little fables that Mr. Ben goes on.
Oh, fantastic.
So I want you to learn something from that for when you come back.
Okay, brilliant. That's lovely,
I'll tell you one
Karl.
of the stories I read this morning. It's brilliant. In fact, when you've done with it,
Yeah.
give it me.
Yeah.
Because I haven't finished reading that.
Okay, thank you, Karl.
And for Steve, a little
Oh,
shut up lines.
A little book of chat-up lines.
that's fantastic.
Karl.
Thank. Well, we'll see you in 3 months. But carry on emailing Karl. Cherish Karl Pilkington. He sits in a little room by himself, so keep him in touch. And we'll see you in August. We're going to leave you with something that we all love. This is There Is a Light That Never Goes Out by the Smiths. Very apt, I think. Goodbye.
See you later.